If you realized your daily comforts were quietly building a kind of prison around you, would you walk away from them? Just picture for a second these invisible walls, not made of bricks, but built from all the little choices we make to stay comfortable. We get so used to these routines, these habits, that we barely notice how they shape our lives. Would you actually step outside of that if you knew it was holding you back? Most of us don't really want to think about this question. Honestly, it's uncomfortable. It's easier to just look away or distract ourselves or pretend it's not there. Facing it means admitting that maybe we're not as free as we think, that our habits and comforts might be quietly limiting us. And, yeah, that's a tough thing to sit with. I feel that too. Our lives aren't really shaped by big dramatic decisions. It's all the small, automatic choices, over and over. Every morning routine, every time we reach for our phones, every time we walk the same path through our homes. These things seem tiny, but together they build the structure of our days, and honestly, our whole lives. This isn't really about feeling better. It's about noticing the invisible structure of our habits, seeing how our routines and our environment shape what we do and even what we think is possible. When we start to notice these patterns, we can actually question them, maybe even change them. If we understand what's keeping us stuck, we can start to find a way out. When we see these invisible barriers for what they are, we can finally start to unlock the door and maybe step into something that feels a little more free. In the modern world, we find ourselves living inside an invisible prison, one not made of steel bars or locked doors, but constructed from dopamine, distraction, and our relentless craving for comfort and ease. This cage is subtle, almost imperceptible, yet it shapes our daily lives in profound ways. We reach for our devices without thinking, seeking a momentary escape, a quick hit of pleasure, or simply a way to fill the silence. Our brains, once finely tuned for survival in a world of real dangers and real rewards, now latch onto endless digital stimuli. Each notification, each scroll, each like or comment delivers a tiny surge of dopamine, trapping us in cycles of distraction and a persistent low-grade dissatisfaction. We become restless, always searching for the next thing, rarely satisfied with the present moment. The architects of our digital world understand these instincts intimately. They design systems and platforms that keep us engaged, not through coercion or force, but by appealing to our deepest desires for comfort, novelty, and connection. We willingly participate, often unaware of how our attention is being harvested and our habits shaped. The most insidious part of this cage is its comfort. It feels safe, familiar, even pleasant, so much so that we rarely notice the door is wide open, inviting us to step outside and reclaim our freedom, if only we choose to see it. Slightly uncertain. Sometimes I wonder if I'd even notice the open door myself. Change doesn't come from motivation or inspiration. It comes from action. Action repeated until it rewires your brain. Your intentions and feelings don't matter to your neurology, only your actions do. Every time you choose discomfort over ease, you cast a vote for a new identity. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. The law is simple. Do the thing. That's all your brain is waiting for. Accepting the uncomfortable law of action shifts your world. Emotions become signals, not stop signs. The question is no longer what feels good, but what action aligns with who you want to be. Self-trust grows, not from affirmations, but from keeping promises to yourself. Quiet, consistent action rebuilds your foundation. By taking responsibility for the next 10 minutes, you begin to take command of your destiny. True change is built on responsibility, not just hacks or shortcuts. First, define the action, not the outcome. Focus on the smallest, repeatable step you can actually control, even if it feels almost too small. Second, embrace resistance. The moment you want to avoid is probably the moment that matters most. Try to act anyway, even if it's just a little. Third, document, don't judge. Track your actions honestly, without excuses or shame. Just notice what's real. These principles, they strip away illusions. They ask you to own your choices as best you can. Change is slow, unglamorous work, one brick at a time. And maybe that's enough. Think about just one daily habit that doesn't really serve you. Maybe it's small, but still there. Now, try to add it up. 30 minutes a day. That's over 180 hours a year. Weeks of your life just gone. Push it further. In 10 years, that's a month and a half. All spent on something you don't even value. This isn't about guilt. It's about seeing things clearly, making the invisible cost visible. So, the real question is, now that you know the price, will you make the same choice again tomorrow? The answer, well, that's what shapes your future. Understanding is easy. Action is rare. We often find ourselves lost in thought, believing that insight alone is enough to spark transformation. But the truth is, knowing what to do and actually doing it are worlds apart. In the quiet moments when no one is watching, the real test begins. Most will nod in agreement, then drift back to old habits. It's easy to agree with ideas that sound wise, to feel inspired for a fleeting moment, but inspiration fades quickly. The comfort of routine quietly pulls us back. The world is full of distractions, and it's tempting to let ourselves be swept along by the current rather than swim against it. Change is not default. It's a deliberate, uncomfortable choice, made moment by moment. Each decision to act differently is a small rebellion against inertia. It's rarely dramatic. More often it's a quiet pause, a breath before doing something new. The discomfort is real, but so is the possibility that comes with it. The path of least resistance is crowded. The path of conscious action is narrow and steep. Most people choose comfort, following the familiar, well-worn roads. But those who dare to step onto the harder path, who choose to act with intention, find themselves alone but also free. Every step upward is a testament to their resolve. So what is the one thing you're willing to be responsible for, starting now? It doesn't have to be grand or impressive. It just needs to be yours, a commitment you make to yourself quietly, without fanfare. This is where real change begins, with a single, honest promise. The challenge is not to change your whole life, just to make one different choice right now. In this moment, you have the power to begin. One step, one breath, one decision. That's all it takes to start moving in a new direction. The quiet choice is yours. Sometimes it's that single, deliberate step in the darkness that reminds us we're alive. Uncertain, yes, but moving. What's one quiet promise you can make to yourself tonight? Even the smallest step forward is a victory.